This is a quick tutorial for the song Crossing Strings. And in this song we practice putting our first, second, third fingers down on the A string and playing on the E string. So we're practicing not only crossing from A to E, which is a bow skill, but we're also practicing the left hand skill, which is putting our first finger down. Then, leaving our first finger down, we're going to put our second finger down. Then, we're going to put our third finger down while leaving that second finger down. Do you see my fingers? So, before we get into the song, I want you to practice this with me. Play the A string. We're going to stay on A. Good. A. Good. Stop. Put your first finger down without moving your bow. Then play. 1 or B natural. Good. Stop your bow. Put your second finger down. Good. Stop your bow. Put your third finger down. Stop your bow. Lift your third finger up. Stop your bow. Lift your second finger up. Stop your bow. Lift your first finger up. Nice. Let's do that again. This is our practice before we play crossing strings, okay? So first A. Put our 1 down on our first finger tape. Stop our bow, put our 2 down. Stop our bow, put our 3 down. Lift our 3 up. Lift our 2 up. Lift our 1 up. Good. And if your sound doesn't quite match mine when you put your first, second, and third fingers down, I want you to look at where you're putting your first, second, or third finger down. If you have your third finger down and it sounds not like this, but maybe something like, or check where you've put your third finger down. You might have your third finger down on the string, but it might not be on the third finger tape, which should sound like that. Okay? So we're going to play that little practice one more time before we get into playing crossing strings, okay? And we're going to play it real slowly, and I want you to make sure that not only are you putting your correct finger down, but you're putting it down right on the tape, like you're hitting a bullseye, okay? And you want to try to do that every time, okay? Let's try that again. A. Stop the bow, put your first finger down. Stop the bow, put your second finger down. Stop the bow, put your third finger down. Stop the bow, pick your third finger up. Stop the bow, pick your second finger up. Stop the bow, pick your first finger up. Good. Now, we can also practice this without the bow. So, let's find a safe place to put our bow. I'm going to put mine on my stand here. Okay? Now, this is a really good time, now that we are not thinking about the bow and stopping the bow, we're just thinking about plucking, okay? So, that means we have a little more brain power to focus on our left hand. Alright, now, if you were playing and you were and your finger was on the correct tape, and it was on the correct place on the tape, and you're using the right finger, but it still sounded weird, I'm going to tell you why, okay? Say you were putting your first finger down, okay? And you had the right placement and everything, but you got this sound. It kind of whistled, all right? Here's what you you do. If you get that whistle sound when you put a finger down, you're not quite putting enough weight into your finger so that the string goes all the way down onto the fingerboard. Alright? You can sometimes hover over the top of the string with the tip of your finger, which causes that whistle sound. You're also, if you pluck with your finger not all the way down on the string, you'll get kind of a weird A string sound. Okay, so here's my finger hovering over the string. You can see that it's not quite over the fingerboard or on the fingerboard. And now I'm going to put some more weight on my finger so that it presses the string all the way into the fingerboard. But look at my finger. You can see, if I can get the right angle, there we go. You can see that my finger isn't super tense either. Look at this. Do you see the white on my finger there? That's really a really tense finger, okay? Remember, we don't want to choke our violin, all right? We want our finger to be relaxed, but to have enough pressure into the string that the string will go all the way down onto the fingerboard, okay? If you want to check to make sure that you're not putting too much pressure on the string, what you can do is you can look and make sure that you don't have a bunch of white around the nail of your finger. That means that there's a lot of pressure on that finger. And then also, you can see if you can lessen the pressure just a little bit. Say, try this. We're going to try something. We're going to put our finger down on the string at 100% pressure, okay? Here we go. That's 100% pressure. Awesome. I'm really gripping this string right now. Okay, now we're going to lessen that pressure by 20%. So now we're at 80% pressure, okay? So still pretty tight on the string. If I picked up my finger and showed it to you, you could see that I would have a line in my finger. That's a lot of pressure. Okay, that's 80%. Now we're going to back it off to say maybe half pressure. Okay? And you can look at your finger. Is it still pressing into the fingerboard? Mine is. But it's not tense anymore. Okay? That's about where you want to be. Alright? 30% pressure would mean that your finger is like touching the string, but it's not depressing the string. Okay? That's a little too not enough pressure. So we want it to be around 50 to 60% pressure. Okay? Alright, great. That was a little mini lesson in finger pressure for you. Okay, now we're going to practice crossing strings, but we're not going to use the bow yet. Okay? We are going to use our fingers and our plucking. Okay? And when we practice this, I want you to be thinking about two things. I want you to think about the finger pressure, okay, making sure that you're putting enough pressure on the string but not too much that you choke it. The other thing I want you to think about is we want to make sure, I gotta find the right angle, we want to make sure that when we put our fingers down on the A string, that we're not also putting our fingers down on the E string, okay? Otherwise you'll get this. Or versus, okay, we want the open E string. So I want you to quick put your first finger down on the first finger tape, and I want you to see, okay, is the corner of my finger on the E string? Can I feel the E string on part of my hand or my finger? Okay, if the answer is yes, I want you to figure out a different way of holding the violin and putting your finger down on the string so that you're not getting that E string, okay? And that probably means going from a flatter finger on the A string to more of a curved finger on the A string, okay? If your finger's too flat, you're going to hit the E string too and all the different strings. But if you curve your finger a little bit, you'll only have the A string. All right, that's enough of me talking. Let's try practicing crossing strings with only plucking. We are not allowed to pick up that bow yet, okay? All right. I'll go real slowly. Ready, go. First finger, second finger, third finger. Lift up third, lift up second. Let's go up again. First finger, second finger, third finger, second finger, first finger, A. Nice job. All right. So I want you to practice that as many times as you need to. Feel free to listen to me while you do it to make sure that you're pressing the string down enough, but that you're also letting that E string speak, okay? All right. Now, only when you're really comfortable with that, we can pick up our bow. Okay. So now, we'll add in our bow. Don't add the bow if you're still figuring out your left hand though, okay? Right. So here's what it's gonna sound like with the bow. Ready? Go. When we practice crossing strings, there are a couple of ways we're going to practice it before we even get to playing it with the bow. First, and I didn't mention this before, but this is a good thing to do, you can practice your string crossings from A string to E string, just to make sure that you're super comfortable with that, okay? Then, once you've got that down, you can practice with plucking and with the bow, playing a little 5-note scale on the A string. 4-note scale. I can't count. All right, where we go. And here's how I would practice that. First, to make it the easiest thing possible for myself, I would practice it only with plucking. And I would go. And then back down. Okay, then I would pick up my bow and I would put stops in between the notes. So it would sound like this. Stop, put my first finger down. Stop, put my second finger down. Stop, put my third finger down. Stop, pick my third finger up. Stop, pick my second finger up. Stop, pick my first finger up. And I would go as slowly as I needed to on that until I felt super comfortable with that, okay? Then, when I felt like I was confident enough, I would remove those stops or those rests, okay? Stop. Okay, then we're ready to go on to plucking the crossing string song. So you pluck it just like we did before. Just like that, but much slower. And then we add in the bow. Okay, so you've got like a 5 or 6 step process there, but that's those are really, really good ways to practice it, and you will be super comfy with your left hand and crossing strings by the time you've mastered all of those steps. All right, I'll put in a quick tutorial as well on just how you can practice it without giving like a little mini lesson if you just want to practice demo. Okay, but I will see you guys later. Have fun practicing.